I want to ask you a simple question. Does someone have the right to hurt you? Do they have the right to walk up to you and assault you, just so long as they don't hurt you too badly? This is Rayon McIntosh. He's a young man working a crappy job for crappy people in a crappy part of town. Like a lot of us, he's had some hard times. At 18, he was convicted of manslaughter and served 10 years in prison. After serving his debt to society, he tried to do the right thing. A lot of ex-felons try to find a way to make a quick buck, but not Rayon. And that's how he wound up working at McDonald's. This was a man trying to put his life back together in the middle of the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. Rayon McIntosh wasn't looking for trouble. Unfortunately, trouble came looking for Rayon, and one day it found him. A loud, rude, and boorish couple of lesbians came into Rayon's place of employment one day, and to prove they were trying to start an altercation, they came in, by some reports drunk, demanding to pay for their order with a $50 bill. Now, everyone in America knows you don't go into any fast food restaurant trying to pay for a small order with anything bigger than a 20. But these two were looking for a fight and decided to pick on Rayon. When other employees told the women that they would have to check out their $50 bill to make sure it was real, they then became irate, belligerent, and finally, violent. Rayon hadn't done anything to provoke being attacked, but still, they came at him. In a day and age where we see stories every night on the news about convenience store clerks, pizza delivery people, and cab drivers being gunned down and attacked every day by thugs and criminals, Rayon found himself in that life-or-death struggle as one of the women showed she was determined to do Rayon serious harm and literally jumped over the counter and chased him into the back of the restaurant. The other woman ran around the counter to help her friend in attacking Rayon. If Rayon were a police officer, he would have been completely justified in pulling out his service revolver and shooting both women. New York police are infamous worldwide for their wanton and blatant killings of unarmed people who didn't even get out of their cars or leave their houses. And yet, here is a man, recorded on video, with attackers pursuing him to do him bodily harm, and he was totally unarmed. If you were Rayon, what would you do? You're just a man trying to live your life. You work a 2-bit job for a 2-bit employer. You just want to get your minimum wage check and go home. And yet, here come two vicious barbarians who have nothing better to do than to choose you, of all people, to attack. Rayon did what any of us would have done. He found a rod in the back of the restaurant, and even though he was outnumbered, only had seconds to act, and was pinned in a cramped hallway, he managed to somehow overcome both of the assailants and had them subdued without being further harmed himself. Now, if Rayon were a police officer, he would have been able to shoot both of them for even balling up their fists at him. But Rayon did what the New York Police Department routinely fails to do, and he subdued both attackers without killing them dead. The only thing that Rayon did that police routinely do is he made sure that both assailants stayed on the ground and didn't get back up again to attack him. When the police tell you to put your hands behind your back, you are expected to do so, and if you do not, they will use whatever force they wish to, including breaking your bones and smashing your skull, or tasering you and potentially killing you in order to get you to comply. The LAPD saw nothing wrong with several of their police officers beating a helpless Rodney King as he lay on the ground simply because they told him to stop moving. You would have thought that everyone would be happy that the story of Rayon McIntosh didn't end in tragedy of yet another hard-working American being murdered in their place of employment by savage gangs of thugs. But this is where the story takes its tragic turn. In the ultimate act of adding insult to injury, the police and the prosecuting attorney's office actually charged Rayon with first and second degree assault. They only charged the two women with trespassing and disorderly conduct. They didn't even charge them with aggravated battery or assault. In other words, they were essentially charged with being too loud in a restaurant. Meanwhile, Rayon McIntosh finds himself in jail, with bail set at $40,000, while the couple who attacked him roam free and can brag to the world that in New York, if you attack a worker, then you not only can get away scot-free, but if the person you attacked tries to defend themselves, then the police will actually come and arrest them, and not you who attacked them. This isn't just a case about Rayon McIntosh. This is a case about what kind of country we're going to live in, and who we are as a people. Are we going to live in a society where the rules are tilted in favor of the honest citizen? Or are we going to live in a land where the criminals have all the rights, and cowardly district attorneys who are too gutless to prosecute real criminals decide it's easier to just go after the law-abiding citizens? This case is about the next time you go to your job and some crazed lunatic comes off of the streets and threatens to jump the counter and attack you because you didn't give them free donuts with their buffalo wings. Are you going to pause and think twice when they attack you? Are you going to have to think to yourself, is it all right with District Attorney Cornball if I keep these people from attacking me? Will you be too concerned with trying to make people think you didn't use too much force to save your own life, and in the process wind up getting killed because you didn't stop the criminal because you didn't use enough force? This is the schizophrenic gumbo soup we find ourselves in today. This is not about Rayon McIntosh. This is about your family, your kids, your mom, your life. And do we respect your universal right to not be hurt by someone else? Or do we somehow pretend that this is Friday Night Fights and that someone attacking you is the same as two people who willingly get into a boxing ring and choose to get into a fight? Assaulting people is not a game. It's a crime, or at least it's supposed to be. And you have no say in what force is used against you during the commission of a crime. When you assault someone, they are not willing participants in a competitive sport. They are a citizen who is in fear for their life and limb and are only interested in keeping you from harming them, not in proving to you, the police, or some legal bureaucrat that you're the best amateur boxer in town. And this isn't just about men's rights. If you're a woman and some goon decides to rape you, are you going to wait and call DA Screwball's office and get his permission before you can defend yourself? Are you going to let some psycho rip your clothes off and violate you while you ponder how much force you should use in self-defense? Or will they say that the rapist can go free and you go to jail for assault because you hit the rapist after he was on the ground? The case of Rayon McIntosh should send a cold chill down everyone's spines the next time your house is broken into, your car is stolen, or your daughter is raped. The DA has just told the criminals that they run the city, and the law-abiding citizens are public enemy number one. This is not the story of justice for Rayon McIntosh. This is the story of sanity and justice for all of us.